Hello, it's day 39 of my 365 days of crafting. Today I'm going to show you how to make this cute little Christmas card using buttons. And it's super easy, and you can do it assembly line style if you want to make a bunch of them. So let's get started. So what you will need for this project is some cardstock in the color that you wish. You will need 3 buttons to make this snowman. You will need a larger one, a medium size, and a smaller. And I like to use the 2-hole buttons because for the bottom 2 you can use those as buttons on the snowman, and for the top you can use them for his eyes. And then some felt scraps. I'm using a painter's pen. You can also use a dark black felt pen, a Sharpie, or black paint, a pen, and a bone folder or a wooden chopstick, which is what I use. And that is all you need. So the first thing I did is I cut the cardstock in half, and 5.5 inches across the bottom part will give you 2 cards to each piece of cardstock. And then I'm going to just fold it in half and line it up so it's even. And then I like to use a chopstick. You can also use a bone folder just to make sure it's nice and smooth on the edges. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up my buttons to where I would like them. So I'm just going to place them, and I'm going to do the holes facing up on the 2 bottom ones, and then the holes facing sideways on the top. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, with a pen, I'm just going to mark the holes on the snowman, and I'm going to do that all the way down, and then I'm going to mark where I want my arms to come out with a little dot. So the next thing I'm going to do is, once I get all those little areas marked, is what I did is I took my paint pen and I just covered over the markings, and then I drew my arms. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue down the buttons. So I'm going to put the glue around the edge of the button and then glue it down. So I'll get those glued down, and then I'll show you what to do next. So I'm putting down my last button here. And then I'm going to go ahead and let that dry completely. So while that's drying, I cut out 2 small pieces of felt. They're about 1/3 of an inch wide, and one's 2.5 inches and one's 1.5 inches. And I'm just going to make little fringes on the edge of each one, only on one side. And you just cut little fringes. You can probably fit 4 or 5 on each one. So I'm going to go ahead and do both of those. Then I'm going to glue these together. Just a little dab of glue. And I'm going to make it kind of slant a little. And then set that aside and let that dry. So once the little scarf is dried, I'm just going to go ahead and cut the edges even. So then when everything's dry, I'm going to add the scarf onto the snowman. Just a little glue. Just go ahead and glue that down. And you can glue the ends down too if you don't want them flapping around. And there you have your snowman card. And there you have your snowman card. Now you can add a hat to the snowman. I kind of like him without the hat. You can add a lot of different embellishments. You could do some glitter snow on the ground. You can do like a sponge of white snow on the ground. There's a lot of possibilities with this card. Thank you for joining me for day 39 of my 365 days of crafting, and I will see you tomorrow.